Hey guys, Apurva the Book Hunter back again with another video. No, I know I've been for a long time, but got some really good stuff lined up for you. For example, this one, Silence by Japanese author Sushaku Endo. This is made into film by Martin Scorsese. Not the reason why I read this one, but I bought the film time version because it was significantly cheaper. Okay, so this is a novel on religion, kind of similar to Power and Glory by Graham Greene, but much more obscure. I think the reason for that is the subject matter of this novel. I mean, this is based on the oppression of Christianity and persecution of the missionaries in 17th century medieval Japan by the feudal lords. Okay, it's pretty obscure. So, this is a novel on religion, and I would really warn you, this is a tragic novel. But I would give you a little glimpse into the plot. Three guys, Sebastian Rodriguez and two of his friends, they set out for 17th century Japan in 1640, I think. Their goal is not only to preach about Christianity, it's also about finding out what happened to their mentor, Ferreira. So Ferreira, a famous missionary for more than 30 years and a great theologian, suddenly there are rumors that he has apostatized after torture in front of the Japanese authorities. Apostatize, that's a new word for me. It means he had renounced God by trampling upon his image in front of the Japanese authority. He has renounced his beliefs, which is pretty unthinkable because missionaries, devout Catholics, they're never going to do that. They'd rather die. And this has happened. He had been forced by torture to apostatize. He has naturally he has been excommunicated by the church, but they are not ready to believe it. His students, Sebastian Rodriguez, Gorf, and the other guy, so they want to find out what had happened to him, and they want to clear his name. So they travel, they sneak into Japan. They take a help of exiled Japanese Christian, Kichijiro, a very cowardly character, very similar to Judas. Like a lot of biblical references in here, and he's very similar to it. He's a traitor and a coward, of course. He helped him sneak into Japan, into a Christian village, and they hide there. And they start preaching. They're pretty happy that they can preach their religion and they buy the devoutness of the Christians there. But at the same time, the authorities are just, they're going around searching for the Christians, punishing them. Some really gruesome torture sequences are in there, so not for the faint-hearted. And day by day the circle closes in and they feel like they're gonna get caught and all that. And well, I'm not gonna tell you more about this. I mean, that would be like a spoiler, but you know what's gonna happen to them. Like, that is so predictable. I mean, from page one you know that something bad is gonna happen to our protagonists. Yeah, sure. But that's not really all the book is about. This book is more about the beliefs, like faith, belief, how, and more importantly, how the protagonists question their faith in face of such mounting adversities and gruesome tortures by the feudal lords and the authorities just. And the results, I mean, towards the end, like what dawns upon the protagonist and the mind of the reader is pretty surprising. It comes slowly, like builds up, and that's a bit of a spoiler, but it's not what you're thinking. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna keep it a secret. So basically, first when I picked up this book, I'm like, sure, it's gonna be good, but there must be some boring stuff about Catholics just ranting on about how God are showing them their way and all that, but not. No, I mean, most of the time, like, silence here is, the protagonist is referring to the silence of the God. I mean, they are in such conditions, and honestly, even through their prayers, they can't reach God. Like, he is silent, a recurring theme in this novel. And they question their faith. The protagonist, Sebastian Rodriguez, he keeps questioning his faith. And what happens is, like a tug of war between epiphany belief and faith, they're all clashing together. And even what happens with Ferreira, I mean, what has happened to Ferreira, well, that's pretty surprising too. I mean, yeah, you're probably gonna guess it, but you're not gonna be sure what's gonna happen. So pretty awesome that way. I mean, yeah, just talking about the reading experience, like this is a nearly perfect novel. Like nothing is almost wrong with it. It's not long, it's not short, like it's not overbearing. The characters are not too flimsy, like too larger than life. They're so there, like totally balanced. I mean, this is a nearly perfect novel. Yeah, talking about the characters, Kichijiro, uh, Inoue, the authority, Inoue, Sebastian Ferreira, they're all awesome, really awesome. The setting, yeah, I mean, when I was reading the other novels, the other Japanese novels by Yasunori Kawata or Yuki Mishima, I was like getting this beautiful Japan portrayed in front of me, but the Japan that's been portrayed here, the medieval Japan, the time when the serfs and the farmers were not as happy as they were in 19th or 20th century. Yeah, that image, that backdrop that's really powerful. That's more real for me, like totally. Okay, so my reading experience, like 5 out of 5. But no, I'm not gonna grade it, but it's pretty awesome reading experience. Not gonna say this is enjoyable because very tragic novel. Like I'm warning you, if you're faint-hearted, you're not gonna last through this one. Pretty awesome book, recommended for all serious reader. Almost nothing wrong with it. You can easily pick this up and read it. It took me 2 days to read it. So that's it for today, guys. Approval the Book Hunter signing out. See you again in my next videos.